This one's for the boys. There, we did it. We finally did it. Welcome in. It is at The Buzzer, the ATB show. You can check us out online. Find all the links where Rubber Shoes does his rant on all the mediums. Dressed in Celtics green. We'll be obviously discussing the events that are coming up later this week as the finals are. They should be called the finalies at this fucking point. Can we call them the finalies?
No shit.
Finally, no kidding.
Holy Moses,
So
Barbara.
ridiculous.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about went to a WNBA game and a boxing match broke out. Like that's obviously a conversation worth having. And Justin Jefferson. NFL money is going through
Patriots
the roof.
got him or
That's
no?
interesting. No. You missed that yesterday. We'll discuss that. Highest paid non-QB on the planet. And I'm sure Rubber Shoes has an update from the Fens. We might get to that too. We're brought to you by our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. If it goes in, on, or around a truck, or if it's got its shirt off and it's on the side of the truck, it might be their star employee. Rubber Shoes, take it away.
AAA Work Trucks brought to you. Brought to you by AAA Work Trucks. Your one-stop shop for all your work
AAA
truck
Work
needs.
Trucks
If it
brought to you
goes
by AAA
in
Work
or on a
Trucks.
vehicle, good bet AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
And you want to be my latex salesman? Like I feel like I wake them up sometimes. What were you doing? Are you playing Candy Crush?
Yeah,
Are
I've
you
been
placing
thrown
bets?
it to me in like 3 months. It
Oh,
was unexpected.
oh.
Wow, spots
So-
and dots, baby. What's going on?
So duly noted. I'll write that down. Hang on.
Please.
If you're going to do a quick toss to the sharpest marble in the drawer, give him a heads up. Do you want me to text you before the show? Or? Come on, man.
Oh, show notes.
Dear Lord. Speaking of me being wound up, and this has nothing to do with it. It might have something to do with it. Have we had this conversation? We have, and they're not a sponsor yet, but we'd love for them to join the show.
Are we drinking again?
Are we drinking again? No. Do you want to do a spot check on that?
Spot check.
Alexa, how many days
Water,
since
baby.
December 28th? Hang on.
Thursday, December 28, 2023 was
158
158 days.
days.
Oh, congratulations.
So, pocket coffee. We've had this conversation, have we not?
Yes,
Yes.
we have.
Yeah. So, there's only 2 left. But I'll tell you,
Is that the world's worst name for a product though? Pocket coffee?
it's not great.
No, it's not.
It's not great. But I'll tell you,
It
it
sounds
gets
like
you where
you're making coffee out of the lint out of your pocket.
It gets you
Yes.
where you're going. Because I had a tech meeting at 3:59. Actually, it was a 2:59 meeting. So it was a 3:00 meeting. I popped one of these at 2:55. As Scotty could tell you, because in Rubber Shoes, and you've all been here, but Scotty's seen the people I work with, and I meant that in a loving way. If I'm in a tech meeting, I probably shouldn't be talking. I did a lot of talking today.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I ordered my whole department Commodore 63s. Everyone's very excited. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Nice.
Look at Scotty. He go jump in
Oregon
the
Trail.
pool. Scotty's like, I'm done. Timmy's talking about the Guam market. He's talking about tech.
Oh.
We're off the rails. Off the rails.
How long does the pocket coffee go for? Because it seems like you're talking a lot not that I have a problem with that, but
I think psychosomatically, I'm probably playing into it, quite honestly.
Okay, good.
It's that little chocolate, and inside that little nugget, like the size if you broke off like a... What's the candy bar that has... Is it Caramello? Is that what I'm thinking of?
yeah.
Yeah,
caramel,
picture
yeah.
that. Like it probably has like that much espresso inside the cavity.
Okay. All
Sounds personal. Yeah, I mean, so you're fired up, you know. So Scotty's like that. Does
Wondering
sound
what we're in
personal.
for until 6:00 tonight.
Listen, I'm gonna water it down. I'm gonna water it down.
Okay, all right.
I'm getting riled up. I thought I was making a trip up to Old Orchard Beach to see my plug and get my fix, but apparently I'm not gonna be. We're not teaming up, so I don't know.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Are we
I
going
had
to
a
adjust
question
it?
for Rubber Shoes before we jump in.
I
Rubber
love
Shoes,
this.
how ranty are the rant and updates and wrap ups and all that stuff on the Instagram? Is it very ranty or is it more score focused? Because we really haven't had many scores over the last few weeks. I haven't.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, it's been. I fill it with if I am so I keep it to a minute because that's how long the short is on YouTube. That's his.
Yep.
So I only have a minute. So like today I just did that previewing the Red Sox for tonight, and then
Okay.
I think that was it.
I
Yeah,
don't know if there was a lot of rage spilling over into the rant or if it was just
No, not yet.
No, it's more wrap up, less rant. I said we need more rant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
more
yeah.
rant.
Then-
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. I think we need more rant. I like to see Rubber Shoes get fired up about stuff. I mean, it's
well,
got to be a scheduled rant at least once a week, I would think.
as the
I
unofficial
barely
executive
have enough
producer.
time
when-
to do the wrap up.
Well, here's the thing. That's what you've got to appreciate. You realize if you're keeping score at home, this thing's done at like 4:17 in the morning.
Right.
Like he's doing the
Yeah,
wrap up before the game's over.
Can I interject for fuck, man.
Does anybody want to?
47 texts like, "Hey, who's on the show tonight?" Like, can we not? Can we not?
Sorry,
Thank
I
you.
actually waited an hour before I sent it.
Well, that's good for you that you don't sleep, you narcoleptic motherfucker. But I'd like to get some sleep.
So that's a great question. I love this.
Well,
let's peel this onion.
all those texts that you guys send after 9 o'clock at night keep me up.
That's a normal hour,
That's
dude.
normal.
9 o'clock at night is a normal hour
And
to
that's
be
when
up.
all the sports
Not
are
when you
usually
wake up
happening.
at 3:45.
I love
the
how the
sports-
show's broken out. Stadler and Waldorf we're on the lower.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. If Janina was here, and she's not, but I'll let you know. We had my friend's wedding on Saturday. My friend's daughter's wedding on Saturday, and we knew that event went until 10 o'clock. And Friday night, it's like 7:59. And I lay back a little bit. Glasses come off, and she hears the click. I put them up on, so our bureaus are on either side of our bed, and I put it up, and I rest them on the base of the lamp on my bureau, and you hear this click. It's like the whole world gets quiet, so she can hear click, and she just turns. She's Candy Crushing whatever she's doing. I don't know what she's doing on the iPad, talking to her tennis instructor, and she's like, fine, and she just stops, and she looks, and she goes, "Are you leaving?" She doesn't say if I'm going to bed. She doesn't say thank you for working so hard for our family that you love so much. She just turns and says, "Are you leaving?" Like her lawyer's listening, like the big leave, you know? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, "Grandpa Lindsay, she didn't call me Grandpa Lindsay, but she's like, you have to be awake tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like coherent." And I said, that's why I'm prepping. So for rubber shoes, I do agree. But here's the thing. My phone, and Scotty answered, or I won't ask the question because it would be rhetorical now. When I got into real estate, I remember day 3 of my freshman year, I had texted Nathan, and not that he needs to get back to me, owns the company, but I saw him the next day. I'm like, dude, what's up? What if I was on fire? He goes, "You're here. You weren't. But anyway, go ahead." And I was like, and he's like, when I get home and my phone goes on my bureau in the bedroom, I'm with my family. And respectfully so. And he said, and I don't know if he said this to me or I just made the decision. My phone's been on silent since it's almost been 14 years. Because I started July 1st, 2010. And my phone's just been on silent because you guys remember the show Entourage? Ari walking around with the phone. Like, it's always in our hands, and especially real estate people. Like, it's just, and every business person, like, it's always in your hand. It's on our person. Generationally, I think it's even more ingrained into our kids. Everyone's marching around. Everybody's connected to it. So I've had it off because I never wanted it to go off at an inopportune time. So people messaging at all hours. Scotty's now telling me, obviously, that yours dings. Doesn't that drive you crazy? Because you're getting hammered from all sides during the day, right?
And that's the reason why it's on. So if there's a major outage or something that I need to jump on,
In
call, sure, or something to that effect, which is, few and far between, but it happens. And so I've always just kind of left it on. And I'm just, it's just, there's times where I'm like, oh, I get to, get some sleep. and then it goes off at like ungodly hour, and I'm like, that I don't like that. I don't like waking up to that.
I don't like that. Who's on the
like that.
rubbish shoes is doing deep knee bends out back, about to swim a few laps in the pool at 3 a.m. Waking the
when I go
neighbors
to
up.
bed, I have mine on silent all the time, also Timmy.
Yeah.
But when I go to bed, mine stays on the charger out in the kitchen. It's not
Smart.
even in the bedroom.
Smart.
So
That's
I
a
don't-
good move.
Oh.
But you
I
wake
need to-
me up
I
when
need
I'm
to
when
do
I'm
that.
falling asleep on the couch before I go
Oh,
to bed.
okay. Oh no, Grandpa Lindsay.
I need to move. I need to move the phone out into the kitchen. Too.
Oh,
That's
I have to DJ a party Saturday night. It's till 11,
Oh.
so I'm gonna be
Oh, you guys are really burning the midnight oil over there.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Maybe
And
maybe you need
so
some
wait till the-
pocket coffee.
I'll get home
Made in
in
Guam. Just kidding.
between 12:30, and then I got to work at the fire station Sunday morning.
Wait until the finals
like-
start at 9:45. You won't even make it past the
No, they
Star
started
Spangled
8.
Banner.
They started 8. So they started 8:45, I believe.
Oh my
God.
Late-
Last
like
year,
late
like,
game.
It says
last
8:30.
year.
It says 8:30. But
Yeah.
with all the pre
It's gonna be
By the time
8:45. Yeah.
Yeah.
8:47
for,
will be the tip.
Sunday will be 8. Which I love the fact there's a fucking 2 games break between game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Not that we've
So
been
annoying.
waiting.
We didn't
for,
wait
like,
long
2
enough
weeks.
already.
Like, come
Wait
on.
a minute. We're going Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah, it's so
Thursday,
annoying. Why wouldn't you do it
and
on
then
Saturday?
Wednesday.
Stanley
So
Cup
Thursday,
starts
Sunday,
on Saturday.
Wednesday, Friday, and then if there's a game 5, it's on Monday.
So exhausting. It's so.
So
exhausting.
when's the parade?
Why?
July 15th?
Yeah,
It's-
pretty
if-
much.
If it goes 7, it'll be June 23rd. If it goes 7.
Awful.
It's starting June
Absolutely
6th,
awful.
and if it goes 7 games, it's June 23rd. It's ridiculous. The NBA screwed this up so bad, so
I-
bad.
I think they're trying to leave room for the WNBA because I will tell you, even though you may or may not watch the WNBA, I watch it, but normally during the NBA playoffs, I watch a lot less of it because only so much basketball I can watch.
That's
honestly.
usually when the viewership for Billy Corey drops off too. It's during the finals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured as much. I figured as much, but I think that's that's the only logical explanation. Why are you leaving 3 days in between each game unless they're desperate for Al Horford to make it to the end of it? Because he's the only one that really needs the rest. Everybody else is reasonably young in the series, so I can't even imagine what is going on. But
Well, wouldn't we argue at his age we should get on with
They
it?
set it up. They set it up in case LeBron makes it.
good point.
Oh my
good
God.
point. LeBron, any chance to take a dig?
It's load management for LeBron. Love it.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, we're going to get to our picks for the finals that start on Thursday and end in August. We'll get to that a little bit later. Scotty, the Justin Jefferson money. Talk to me about that. Like, do you think that's not like 8? Here's what I saw, and I'm probably wrong because it flashes across the screen, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to put that in the thought chamber. 140 for 4 years, 81 deliverable on signing. Or 81 guarantee, 78 on signing, something like that. 81 million.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it was
it's insane.
110 guaranteed or something like that.
Oh, okay. Maybe
It was
110.
yeah, no, it is. It's 80. Sorry, there was a lot there. 81. So 81 at signing, 110 guaranteed, and
Okay.
140 something overall.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Before.
honestly, when it comes to this, who benefits the most? CeeDee Lamb, who's actually not in the Dallas Cowboys camp today. He didn't go to
He's
OTAs.
waiting. Yeah.
Because if you compare the two numbers, they're almost identical. The only difference is in regards to, like, if you're looking at receptions, yards, touchdowns, right? The big 3, right? You're looking at those. The only difference is that Jefferson has 500 more yards, but they're identical over the last 5 seasons or 4 seasons. So for CeeDee Lamb, who's waiting for this extension or waiting for extension, he's seeing that, and it reminds me of like when Shaq wanted the new contract from Orlando and then thought he had it. And then Alonzo Mourning signs a max deal, which is way more than Orlando was going to give Shaq. And then he left for LA and got the big contract. So if I'm CeeDee Lamb right now, I'm like, oh, you see what he's doing? Look, you see what he's getting? I'm doing the same thing for you guys. Now, granted, I would say that the numbers are, a little bit askew because JJ missed a bunch of time last year, right? So, he missed 6, 7, 8 games, something like that last year. So,
Yeah.
I would definitely say that they're a little bit askew, but for him, I think for CeeDee Lamb, it's huge. But it is a definite shift in regards to, you're always going to pay the quarterback, right? It's still the number one position in football, but you'll start to see a little bit of a shift. We're outside of that, what was probably one of the golden eras of quarterbacks, right? Where there were so many great quarterbacks in the NFL. We're kind of in a place of the unknown right now. You have a handful of what you could consider great quarterbacks still in the league, but it's not.
You got Aaron
not what it
Rodgers.
used to be. It's not what it used to be. It used to be like 10, 15 guys that you could go to, you could say that are like, legit, legit potential Hall of Famers, you're going to see a little bit of a shift, I think, from a big time paying perspective, and wide receivers always get kind of stupid money anyway. But yeah, I think it's an interesting study to see what happens especially the next few weeks as OTAs continue to ramp up, and who shows up and who doesn't, who holds out and who doesn't.
I always
The
feel
real
like,
question is how does it affect Kendrick Bourne? I think that's the real question.
He already signed his extension.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Okay. Actually, I was thinking about. I was looking at the
It's not in the
Patriots
same
wide receiver room while I was on hold waiting for Guam. I was looking at the Patriots wide receiver room, and I honestly think, and Chris Hogan actually was just on a podcast. I'm blanking on whose it was, but was saying something that I kind of thought too, that Juju Smith-Schuster may not even make this roster. I mean, it's a pretty crowded receiver room as it is, especially with the 2 young kids that they just brought in that they're going to want to bring up, plus with Bourne, Pop Douglas, and all these other guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Juju wouldn't be on the team, which wouldn't hurt my feelings very much, but I hated that signing anyway.
What'll be annoying though is Juju will go somewhere else and he'll turn it on.
It'll be amazing.
That's what's annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
what did he have? 3 catches last year?
Who? I'm sorry?
Juju. 3 catches last year.
What did he have? 3 catches last year?
He had more than that, but it wasn't. He didn't have a great year.
It wasn't a lot.
He didn't have a quarterback either, but that's besides the
true. Also didn't have a left leg or something. But
the most annoying thing though is the fact that I'm still upset about the fact we haven't had a chance to talk about it. Other things going on. June 12th is a Wednesday, right? It's a freaking Wednesday.
That's here in 4 seconds.
Yeah, and it's the dedication to Brady. On a Wednesday. Doesn't really make much sense on the fact, it's the 12th. Fucking give a shit about that.
Right.
And on top of that, like, my kids are like half day of school. It's like their last day of school, which again, to the Marshall School District, what the hell? Why are you doing it on a Wednesday and a half day? Thank you for that, I guess. But seriously, I would have, if it was a different day, Big Nate, the kids and I, we're going down. I was totally going to buy tickets. I got I got the pre-sale thing because I'm still on the wait list.
Good for you.
Fingers crossed.
Good
Keep
for
sucking.
you.
Maybe we'll
Good
get
for
them.
Good for you.
But yeah, I mean, it's really annoying and disappointing that Bobby decided to have it on a Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening.
Well, he couldn't resist the numerology of it all. 6 rings, number 12.
Well, I know. All right, I know, but you could flip that, and I know you'd run into adverse weather, but you could do 12. You could have done 12-6, and I don't even know
July
what day
12th
of the week
is a
that is.
Friday. July 12th is a Friday. Just saying.
And you could honor the fact that he had 7. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily R6, but his 7.
What were the tickets going for that? Do you know?
They weren't outrageous. They were decent.
Oh, really?
It depends on where you wanted to sit, obviously. But if you were sitting where Timmy we used to sit snuggling next to Jesus and
339, we had a good time. We had a good time.
We had a blast. I almost fell multiple times. But you could get those for like $80, $60, something like that.
That's not bad.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I'm pretty sure though, and I have to double check. I think like the parking passes were almost as expensive as the tickets, but
that tracks.
God.
Yeah,
that's how they get you. But yeah,
that's a day where you play hooky though from school, Scotty. I mean, last day of school, half day.
For the kids. But I don't know. and it
I mean,
just doesn't work
you're
out
a
for
better
it didn't work
father
out
than
for
I
me
am, I
anyway
guess.
from a work perspective, just because we have people flying in next week,
From
so we have
Guam.
a whole on-site situation. So I am not going to
Do
be
they
a part
fly
of the show.
direct from Guam, or do they? Is there a holdover?
Allegiant right into peas. Yep.
Hey,
They love
we're
it.
right next door to Peace. We're right there.
They love it.
Liberty Road.
Liberty. Love it.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Um,
Well, I'm sorry you weren't able to get tickets to it because I think it's going to be fun. Are they broadcasting it on? Is it on TV or where can you watch it? Is it streaming? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if it's not. Because I wouldn't feel as a fan like, oh, I'm mad it's on TV. I paid to be there. People are paying to be there because they want to be able to tell their friends and their family and their kids for the rest of their life I was there.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if Kraft Productions doesn't.
Probably throw
Put
it
it-
up on Patriots.com, I would think, right?
At the very least, yeah, I'd be shocked if it's not going to be somewhere available for the viewings.
I mean, I would think.
God,
see if
that's
it's
next
up there, yeah.
Wednesday, right? Am I losing my mind?
It is.
Thursday?
Yeah, that's
Next
crazy.
Wednesday.
Oh,
Sorry.
this
Yeah, it's
Thursday.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
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 Wow. That snuck up. I remember when they announced the date. I'm like, what are they doing? When are they doing it? It seems so far away. And now it's.
By the way, there's not a lot of news happening with the Patriots because the top story on Patriots.com right now is best of Tom Brady's 1,000 plus career rushing yards.
Oh my God.
Nobody gives a shit. It's rushing yards.
did,
What are we talking about?
Yeah, they did Josh McDaniels actually did like this on Patriots.com or their YouTube. You can see he did he broke down Brady's greatest comebacks basically, like and it was very cool. Yeah, it's like an hour long, or 50 minutes long. It was pretty cool to see McDaniels sit down and do that, and he's got nothing better to do. He's still getting paid, so by the Raiders, so why not? But
That's amazing.
But yeah,
Patriots.com looks a little bit like MassLive.com in the early 2000s. Like, what are we doing?
Awful, so bad.
It is
gosh.
bad.
It's really just terrible. They got banner ads all over. Like, what are we like? You don't make enough money from ticket sales and jersey sales and food and all that stuff. You got to dirty it up with banner ads. I mean, what do you get for that? It's ridiculous. Nothing left to bitch about with the Patriots except their website. So,
Well, there it is. There it is. Is anything going to happen in your estimation, Rubber Shoes, Scotty, Adam? Is anything coming? Do the Patriots have a hole that they're going to fill? Is there something that's going to? You think there's a cut that's going to happen? There's a surprise that's coming. Any player that you think that might fall on our lap? A deal that gets I mean, CD Lamb will get figured out because the Cowboys will figure it out. And they got big deep pockets. But like, do you think something like that might happen? Insofar as like any player that's sort of on the bubble with their contract and upset about money that we could scoop.
I don't see them picking up like a star. They may pick up a veteran that's cut to fill in, especially on the offensive line. They need some depth.
Yeah,
but I don't really see because the thing is like if someone gets cut, then football is the hardest thing to just jump in and start playing. You got to learn a whole playbook, and
yeah.
that's why there's not a lot of trades during the
season,
the season.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because like I don't, and also I still feel like Mayo is going to play it close to the vest. I think he likes having a young team, and I think that's kind of what he wants. To be honest with you, I don't think he's going to like go out and try to bring in like a big veteran or someone like that. I think he's going to kind of keep it to go build to the draft, so to speak, and keep it young. I know Higgins is still grumpy. But I don't know if they're, also they don't really have many assets to trade out, and they're not going to trade draft picks.
Right.
I don't see them doing that.
Yeah.
So they don't really have a lot of, people. Billy's got a great point. I think their offensive line is terrifying right now. Some of the reports from like Mike Reese and others down there, last week, obviously it's no pads and stuff, but there were some times where, on 11-11 where like Dietrich Wise and Keon White were in the backfield in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like the offensive line's like, where did he go? You know, they didn't know what was happening. So, you know, it's that's a big concern, I think. But you know, outside, but there's no real, you know, there's no offensive lineman on the street that's going to come in. You know, but they have, I think they have themselves 3 offensive linemen right now that are pretty well solidified, with, you know, Andrews and Mikey, and then probably Sidney Sow as well. But then you got a couple of young guys, and I'm blanking on the guy's name. They did bring in one dude, but he only played left tackle because they don't really have a left tackle unless they're going to move Mike over there. But I don't know. We'll see. But
are you going down to camp, Scotty?
You know, I've never been to camp, to be honest with you. It's
What?
one of those things I've never been
For
down
real?
for camp. I
Wow.
went down for I take that back. I guess I went down for like one of their final practices when Cam Newton was still here and Mac Jones's rookie year.
Okay.
I take it back. We did go down for that. We never went to for camp though. It was like a practice, and we got to go into the stadium and watch them and stuff, and that was pretty fun. But no, actually, we're going to the Jets game in October.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you'll see their backup quarterback, the Jets.
Oh my God!
You think Rodgers is getting hurt already in Adam's mind? It's already,
Did you grab?
I think
the
he
Jets
already
to
is
see
hurt. I don't
Rodgers?
think he's
Was
recovered.
that your plan?
that was Nathan's plan. I let Big Nate pick it this year. Yeah, I actually didn't want. I wanted to see Houston. I'd rather see C.J. Stroud.
Oh my God!
And Houston's like early October, I think. Yeah, they're
What's
early
our
October.
best
The
chance
Patriots
for a
only
win,
have
Scotty? That's really what it is.
The Patriots only have Houston's a good team. They made the playoffs last year.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Well-
The Jets are a much better chance of a win.
I don't know. Jets are. I don't know what. It's gonna be a rough year. I don't want to get into it. We have the right now. I think it's
What? You're not going to pick 12 wins this year, Scotty?
I can't wait for
I'm
that
not
show.
picking
I'm
anything
so
until you
can't
excited
wait
for
to
that
rub it in.
show.
In August. I'm not doing that yet.
Scotty's gonna be like 19-1.
Goddamn right.
19-1.
Always.
Oh man.
Can we talk about uniforms quickly? This is where we need Bobby Dugan to jump in, but he's busy on the West Coast, not being on the show because it's too early. He's in hair and makeup. Anyway, so they've now gone, which is really an interesting turn of events and always confused me, where the NFL was like the one helmet rule, right? And that's why we had that gap of a handful of years where we couldn't do our throwbacks because we couldn't trade out to the white helmet because we were one of the teams that when we did go old school, we had a completely different colored helmet, blah, blah, blah. We couldn't just re-sticker our current helmet. That never made sense to me from a safety concern because look at how many uniforms on the collegiate level, and I'll pick on Oregon because they get to be picked on because Uncle Phil loves them and they get Nike-fied more than anybody else because they're in Oregon. Makes sense, or Nike's in Oregon, I should say. So, you know, Oregon's got like how many different combinations, Scotty? 78,000 and 42 helmets, right? And I love that. I love when I think Nike does a great job at the collegiate level, at least, and I think they're doing a good job at the pros. Baseball's another show. We'll do that in a couple months. But they've now gone, okay, you can have your 2 helmets back. Now they've gone this season to 3 helmets. And Houston has that 3rd uniform, which is like, I think from a color palette, not completely divorced from their typical color scheme, but they've got that neon look and all that stuff. I would love for us to go to a 3rd helmet. And here's what I would love for it to be, is a combination of our 2. I want Pat Patriot on the silver helmet.
Oh, I like that.
I want Pat Patriot on the silver helmet. Then the love affair starts, and then they move to that permanently.
See, I don't know. I've always been a fan of the Flying Elvis.
You love
I
the
like
Flying
fact-
Elvis.
Oh my God, yes. The old Bledsoe.
You don't like Pat the
I want
Patriot?
those with the.
No, I love Pat Patriot. Don't get me wrong, but like that
I
on
want
the
the
white.
Flying Elvis with the early '90s jerseys.
Yes.
Oh, that looked like the mowed lawn.
Yeah.
If you looked real close, they were like the
Yep.
Do you
color
have one of
stripes.
those rubber shoes? Do you have one of those jerseys? You must.
I do.
Tyler
Scotty,
does,
let's-
and I have a hat. I have a hat that goes with it.
Okay.
It's got the.
Do you guys
know
know
what
what I'm
I'm
talking about?
Like these ones. Yeah. Yep.
The mowed lawn. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
the
look it up.
stripes.
Yeah. It's like almost like. Yeah. It's like a stripe. Yep.
I do not. I used to
It was
listen to the games on the radio.
The
in
original,
the 90s.
whatever, royal blue jersey. The
Not
original
the,
one.
yeah, not the stripes on the side. They're like at the top here, right?
Yeah, we're going to eBay. Stand by. How do I? You think I'd know, Scotty? How do I share my screen?
You've done it before.
You just had a meeting with tech today. How do you not know how to do this?
I was busy talking. I was busy talking.
All he did was talk through the whole meeting.
Yeah. How do I do it, Scotty?
If you scroll down, looking at us, if you scroll down, there's a share screen right out next to mute.
Oh.
Don't hit mute. We don't want to lose you.
I don't think I have that. I mean, I have everything. This is the problem. I'm driving and I can't find it. Scotty, get
Who
Guam
gave
on the
him
phone.
the controls?
Get Guam
What the
on the
hell?
line, Scotty. I need help. Yeah, I don't know.
God.
I don't know what I'm looking for, but I just found the picture. I can use my iPhone camera. Hang on a second. I think I can. This is taking so much time.
This is
It's
not
a
gonna
lot.
end well.
Oh,
here
I
it
see
is.
what you're talking about
Now you're black.
I see it.
Yeah, it's not working. It's not working.
Oh,
did you find it, Scotty? Did you find it?
Oh my God, what happened to you? I wasn't even looking at the screen. Yeah,
I was trying to use a different
And
camera.
I'm back.
Yeah, do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
That's gonna take Timmy out, though. I think it will take Timmy out.
No, I'm going to take him out. There we go. Oh, what are we
Oh, there
doing?
you go. All right.
You got to zoom in.
That's a lot of.
So yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
I'm working on it.
Right here, you're talking about these lines right here.
Yes, the mowed lawn. Yes.
Okay.
Those are
How
not
do
my
you
favorite.
make out mowed lawn from that?
If you
Because
cut
you
your
have, like,
lawn and you go back and forth, you've got the.
Yeah, I
dog
know what a
strip.
mowed lawn looks like, but I don't
Do you,
understand why
though?
that looks like a
Do
mowed
you?
lawn. Not really. Oh, now I see it. All right, you
Yes.
can't see it. It's too far away.
He's zooming in.
I'm blind.
I was trying
I'm
to.
blind.
I don't know what the hell just happened there.
Oh boy.
All
Oh
right,
boy.
That's not really.
All right, we're going
Drew,
back
you
to
can
really
Scotty.
see it on Williams.
There we go.
It doesn't.
And
it's
we're
okay.
back. And we're back.
That was important. That was important that we got to that. Our basketball team's in the finals. It's important that we got to that.
Right. All right.
Not
was
yet.
nice
We got
seeing
two
Drew
more. We got
Bledsoe.
2 more days to wait.
True. Actually, before we jump off the Patriots,
The
I do
NBA
have
finalies.
One last thing, which is I think is, and I'm gonna try and weasel my way over there. June 28th at the Brook. Did you see what this? Did you see this, Timmy? Is Ty Law is going to be there free, just hanging out, and yeah, he's it's a free event
Really?
over at the Brook in Seabrook.
What's the
yeah,
Brook? Is it a brewery or something?
It's a casino.
It's a casino
casino.
in Seabrook.
Yeah.
So did that used to be
Makes
the
sense.
dog
That
track?
makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ty
Yeah.
Law.
Ty Law's going to be there, and I'm like, yes.
Did you
I'm
see
like
his
7 to 9.
games with names that he
Not
did?
too early. Not too late. What's that?
Did you see his games with names that he did?
Yeah,
With Jules?
Yeah. Yeah,
good.
he was.
It was a good
I
one.
feel like he was effed up a little bit in that, but yeah,
Oh,
yeah
I think he was blitzed.
he really was, dude. I don't know. Everyone else saw that. It's like
So
Oh,
funny,
boy.
though.
his eyes look a little glazed. It's like look like Paul Pierce whenever
Yeah,
he's
they-
doing an interview these days.
oh my God.
Paul Pierce on the KG show is the funniest thing ever. He's just got the sunglasses on and he's just laying back like how deep is he? He's pretty deep.
He's pretty deep.
It's a good show.
Super deep. News on the front from baseball world. Rubber shoes. Give you 30 seconds.
It's
Halloween.
not much like new news.
Thank you.
I don't see anyone coming back anytime soon. I think Casas is still like a month away before coming back. They're so what they are. They're a 500 club. They're gonna beat up on the bad teams. They're gonna lose to the good teams like tonight, and we're like when I looked the other day, they were 2.5 out of the last wild card spot. So they're probably gonna, tempt us with that all summer long. Just keep us in it for a little bit, and
I'm not going to get my 63 and 99.
not totally ruin our summer, but I mean, it's like we're 10.5 behind the Yankees right now.
Oh,
Already.
God. And of course.
11.5.
I'd be 11 and a half. Thanks, Scotty. Right in there with the
11
stats. I'd be able to tolerate what we're not doing if the Yankees weren't the one just routing right now. Judge is hitting the ball out of his mind. Like if they're gonna have a big fat summer.
I mean, look how protected he is. I mean, he's got the Yankees are just loaded.
That's what happens when your team spends money.
Well, that's just it. Exactly. Even though what's his face, Steinbrenner already came out and said this is not sustainable, which is exactly what they want to hear when Juan Soto is going to be up at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So like Soto's a one and done there. I feel like that's what's going to happen there, but I don't know. Who knows?
That's fit. The Phillies and the Yankees have the
Go ahead, Rob.
best. They're both tied. They're tied with the best record in baseball. Phillies and Yankees.
Ugh.
If we get duck boats, is there anything that the Red Sox can do to ruin your summer or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh. One championship? A championship won't linger for a few months?
Summer doesn't start until after the championships is over. Then summer starts. So,
not according to the NBA.
It could go downhill real quick.
What if the cadence of your celebration of the championship runs the same as the playing of the championship? You could stretch it out to like October, right?
To what?
Celebrate, take 3 days off. Celebrate, take 4 days off.
Yep.
Yeah.
You end up with one of a Jordan Steakhouse for your final celebration.
Yes.
Having dinner.
No.
What's wrong with that? I'm with you, Billy.
Let's do it.
Yeah, if the NBA had a steakhouse, they wouldn't have a tomahawk steak. They'd call it a tomorrow hawk because you'll have it later because you got to wait. Yeah, it's one more day. One more day. You have to order it ahead of time, like Be King Duck. Idiots.
There's nothing more annoying than having to wait 9 days. And this is such a first world problem, obviously. And all the other teams that are sitting at home are like, "F you!" Like, our team's not even playing, but. So we have to wait 9 days and listen to everybody say, "Oh, the Celtics are they're underrated," and then you hear somebody else and they say they're overrated, and then you hear somebody else and say Tatum's not going to live it down if he loses. It's like, all right, enough already.
Well, he's not, but
I know he's not, but it's so freaking annoying. I'm so sick and tired of hearing. Let's just roll the ball out and start playing. Like, what are we waiting for?
All I've been hearing is Kyrie hate.
Yes.
But you're listening to the local stuff. That's why.
Yeah.
The national stuff is everyone's beating up on the Celtics and Zach Lowe, who's I don't know, he's usually halfway decent, came out with, and he's not really a hot take guy, but he came out and said like Tatum's like 8th or 9th right now in the NBA or something to that effect, and he was like naming people that aren't even in the playoffs like way ahead of him, and I'm like come on, man, like honestly it's funny. I started to do like a minuscule of research, before the show, and like I know we swept Dallas this season, and so I'm gonna look up the box score or whatever, and so I just went on to CBS and took a look at it. It's both headlines, right now. The Celtics beat the Mavericks the first time by 9, 119 to 110, and then they smoked them the second time, 138 to 110. Both headlines are. First one is Tatum Brown helped Celtics overcome Doncic's triple-double, and then for their win. And the second one, Celtics overcome Doncic's triple-double to beat Mavericks. I'm like, dude, it's just so obnoxious.
No, we won by 28
but this is how
points.
It's been like this all season with them, though. So to me,
I know. It's so frustrating.
It bothers. I think it bothers the fans more than it bothers them at this point.
Yeah.
Because all they've heard it. They've heard it forever. And they won 64 games while hearing it. They beat the Mavericks without Porzingis and with him. And Porzingis is a go for Thursday night. He is going to play. To me, it's just, you said it perfectly, Adam. Roll the ball out. Everyone shut the hell up and let's play ball. And I will say this, even if they lose one of these 2 games at home, I don't think we're in panic mode unless they're playing like absolute dog shit. Like Dallas is a really good basketball team. They are a solid basketball team. Now the Celtics beat them before they made the trades, and they beat them after they made some trades. So, we'll see the differences there because they had Lively in the second game where they didn't have him in the first, and so on. But, it just needs to fucking get here already. I don't understand why it was the NBA had a set date That's what it was. The NBA had a set date. It was June 6th. They had promoted. They started promoting it and like the end of April. You know what I mean? That's when the finals were going to be. It was a set date. I'm like, what if there's sweeps? Why are you doing this?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, both teams are off. It's not like one team is still, battling in the playoffs. Like they're both off. Like, what are we doing?
Been off for a while.
And
Yeah.
right, exactly. And the Bruins aren't playing. I think the Stars are playing though, right? The Stars are playing.
Nope, they're out.
Are they still in the
Edmonton?
Oh, they're out.
Edmonton.
Okay.
Edmonton, Florida, in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Neither of the hockey teams are playing. There's no
Yeah.
concerts.
What's everybody's
around
pick on that? I'm going Edmonton on that. What do you got,
I'm
Scotty?
going Edmonton.
Edmonton 7.
Yeah. I'm gonna zag. What's the other team that's in it? Florida. I'll take Florida.
Taking Florida just to be a dick.
I'm never taking Florida for anything in my life, but I'll take them.
A Canadian team hasn't won since the Canadians won in '93.
No shit.
They're gonna knock your guys off.
That's a little
dude.
nugget.
They're
I
gonna
didn't even
knock your
know.
guys off.
Man, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
And they came up with the sport, eh? Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
They were talking about Connor McDavid having the weight of Canada on his shoulders in the finals.
You can tell we're bored with the 9-day layoff for the Celtics because we're talking about the Edmonton Oilers.
I love it.
So I care about the Edmonton Oilers. Kyrie,
how many jerseys? Rubber shoes?
I don't have any Edmonton Oilers. I do have a Connor McDavid jersey though. It was when they played in the World Cup of Hockey. I have his jersey from that. Kyrie, I believe, is 0-10 against the Celtics since he was traded to Brooklyn. I think I saw that stat.
Yes,
that's including the playoffs. Including the playoffs because they got swept by the Nets got swept by the Celtics that year that he was with them.
Yeah, but okay, so this is what my problem is. My other problem with the 9-day layoff is like none of these stats actually really mean much. I mean, a lot of those games were with Brooklyn. The version of Dallas right now that we have is so far removed from anything that they were last year, anything that they were even midway through the season this year. It's like a vacuum of information, and nobody has any idea what is meaningful and what is not meaningful. And so they just throw all this stuff out there. I mean, yeah, I saw that stat too. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? I mean, he was on a totally different team for half of those games. So, I mean, I don't know. And the other thing is,
in his head.
Maybe I'm so nervous that the fans are going to be and they will be just complete pricks. And the way he's playing right now, it's just going to feed into him. It just makes me nervous about it.
The curse of the logo stomp.
Yeah. Like, I'm so over it with Kyrie. I just want him to let's exercise this demon and be done with it.
See, I don't see. So when Kyrie was here, right, and was like, flipping off everybody, behind the head and doing all that, and and obviously got fined later on and stuff. And I don't see, for me, when the fans are dicks and they're like they're on him about stuff, to me, he doesn't take it to that next level, especially with Boston for whatever reason. Now, maybe he's matured over the last 2 or 3 seasons or 2 seasons or whatever it's been since that happened. But I don't know. I just never saw him handle that very well. I think Boston's a tough place for him to play, honestly, and honestly, I think I'm totally just, I have nothing to base this on, but I think there's a bit of guilt. Like, I feel like Kyrie is actually he's not an asshole. I think he's actually not he's somewhat, he's definitely an inward thought, inward thinking person. So he definitely obviously thinks about himself quite a bit, but at the same time, I think he also says, I gave my word. I was going to come back here. I am going to, you know what I mean? He said that to a lot of people, obviously let a lot of people down. He hated the Boston media, despised them, which he's not the only, athlete in the area to hate them. But, that was like one of the main reasons he left was that. And obviously with Tatum and Brown, they were friends, they were close and stuff too. And I think he, honestly, if he was still here, like the fans we loved him when he was here. We really did, because he is a nasty ball player. So I
Mhm.
think there's a bit of guilt that he's probably carrying around. Now, if he's going to try to free himself of that guilt and play ridiculous in the finals, that's something we're going to have to watch out for. But the difference to me is, and Adam, I think you have a strong point, but if you line them up, and again, it goes back to just roll the ball out and shut up and play. But if you line up the matchups, Celtics, to me, again, I've said it throughout the playoffs, talent wins out in the NBA. Like more often than not, especially in a 7-game series. And if you look at them side by side, everyone's healthy, everyone's there. Celtics have the edge. They're deeper, and I think and they also have the experience as well. And they're better defensively, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and they're better
their
defensively
two
than
stars
any
don't
team
play
they've played
defense.
so far. I'm sorry?
Their 2 stars don't play defense.
No.
Kyrie plays a little bit. Luka, you can abuse him on the defensive end.
Do you think
That's
at the end of this, when after Game 9, which I think it's going to be a Game 9 series, when it's all over, do you think Luka's going to be a bigger Voldemort than Kyrie? Because he'll get under our skin more.
100%.
I only
He's
say
the
no.
he's the
because I don't
prototypical type player that Boston fans absolutely hates. He complains about every call to every ref that will listen. And you saw him jawing with the fans in Minnesota. He probably will get into that with the Celtics. So
1,000%.
with the Celtics fans. So I think he
1,000%.
will be a much bigger Voldemort, in my opinion.
What do you think, Scotty?
No, for a couple of reasons. So one, I don't know. I honestly don't know how healthy he is. I wouldn't be surprised. And just the way that the Celtics run has gone, if he doesn't even finish the series, and if he doesn't, then he definitely won't be number one. I think, and also, 2, Kyrie. The hate to Billy's point earlier, especially if you're listening locally, it's thick.
Yeah, it's too
there,
much. Yeah.
and it's there's a lot of historical animosity towards him.
Mhm.
And then 3, and I'll just say the elephant in the room is in Boston, he's white, so I don't think he's going to be nearly as hated as much as some of the other players like a Kyrie that's come through here. It's just I'm not saying people hated Lambeer. I'm not saying they didn't hate Lambeer. We all hate
Right.
Lambeer. You know what I mean? But at the same time,
love
it's just,
Lambeer.
He'd have to do something way
Wow,
over the top
what?
because his,
Take him off
you
the
really
show.
just say
Take
that?
him
You were
off
kidding, right?
the
You're kidding.
show.
I was a Detroit Pistons fan back then.
Oh my God.
I thought we've been over this like a million times.
No, I think we did talk about it. I'm remembering now, but I didn't know. I didn't. No
Yes,
one liked
it's
Lambeer.
gone.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's go. Get out of here. I love
Is
Bill
he
Lambier. No,
fucking
you don't.
serious? Like,
Get out.
listen, here's the thing. I lose track. I lose track of his fandom. It's so
Exactly.
widespread. It goes
It's
so
so
deep.
hard.
There's so much history.
Yep.
Depends on the decade.
I'm pretty sure he has a Dirk Dallas jersey that he'll probably secretly wear
I
one
have
game.
a Luka. I have a Luka.
Oh my God! What is wrong with you?
Apparently,
I almost burnt my copy
making
of NBA
posts
2K because he's on the
for-
cover of it.
guess all these posts are a waste of my time if other
Thank you,
people on the
Scotty.
show don't even look at them.
Oh my God, Smithsonian of bad choices. What is happening? What the
Oh,
bird
thank you,
shirt's
Scotty.
awesome. I love
Thank
the bird shirt.
Bird
Do
shirt
you
has
have a
been in the
you have a
basement
Lambia
since the
shirt?
No,
Beer.
Luka.
No, just
Even Isaiah
Isaiah
Thomas?
Thomas and Joe Dumars.
From microwave. He's got the microwave. You got Vinnie Johnson. number 15.
Oh, I would. Yeah, he was my favorite.
Oh my God! So you loved
Look,
the
I-
Lakers, you loved the Pistons. What team that the Celtics were rivals with did you not like?
The Washington Generals. Oh, sorry, wrong team.
I was Lakers. You know those shirts that you see is like I love the Lakers and anyone else who plays the Celtics.
Oh come on! You had one of those shirts?
No, but that's basically how it was.
Oh,
And that's how it was with the Canadians up until the Bruins up until probably 4 seasons ago.
So, what was it? Was it the magic effect, or was it that this as as a black man, you don't feel the Celtics saw you? Like, what was your thing?
Yes.
Like, asking for a friend. Only because I know that he and I
could
were so
not
into hip-hop and Run DMC and all that stuff. You
Yes,
really thought you were
yes.
Radio Raheem.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, explain. I'm more curious about the Detroit
William,
fandom than I
wait
like
a
the
minute,
Lakers.
wait a
I
minute,
can see,
wait a minute,
but the
wait a minute.
Detroit
Hold your
fandom?
thought, Adam. I love you. Hold your thought.
Okay.
William
Okay.
Francis Corey, the stereotypical Irish kid from New England who's also a firefighter. Like, you can't, it writes itself.
Yeah.
In his youth, didn't feel he could identify with an all-white basketball team.
Pretty much.
So what bridge did you cross
which
that
has
you're
a
now sitting
leprechaun
there?
for her logo.
Yeah, you now look like a bar of soap that's in my shower at home. Like, what's
So-
happening? Yeah.
I think a lot of it was the being in the Navy when I was away from home, and I took more pride into where I was from. And
Okay.
that's when I went in the Navy in '92. That's when I started rooting for the Celtics.
All right. Well, I guess we'll give you a pass after being.
Terrible times are
No.
30 years.
No, we're
Oh, I know
out
it was.
passes.
When the big three, the original big three were past their prime, way past their prime, and I remember watching. I think they played. I want to say they played the Charlotte Hornets in the playoffs and
Alonzo
lost.
Mourning.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Alonzo
Yep.
Mourning.
Yep.
They hit the
I
dagger.
remember they had a huge sports bar on base, and I remember watching them lose that, and I was actually crushed that they lost. I was like, "Wow, this is the first time this has ever happened."
Yeah, I
But
know
I
exactly where
did
it was that day.
keep my
I was-
allegiance to the Canadians because they want. So, quick story.
It's hitting us
With
from all sides.
My brother and I are both at that sports bar watching the '93 Stanley Cup championships. Canadians win. We have our Canadians jerseys on in the bar. These two guys come over to buy us a beer. They're from Boston.
Huh?
They're like, we're Bruins fans. We just want to congratulate you. Like, my brother and I wouldn't accept the beers from them
Because you had to admit that you were also
because they were
from
Bruins
Boston.
fans. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I
because they
thought-
were
I
Bruins
thought it was-
fans. We're like, we're not accepting.
Wow.
We could have
Oh
been
my
neighbors.
God. Oh
That
my
story
God.
doesn't make you seem great. That does. I got to be honest. It doesn't make you seem great.
That's
Rubber
how
Shoes.
that's how much. And my brother still has that hatred for the Bruins, but that's
Oh
how
my
deep
God.
it was for years and years and years.
I don't understand the flip flopping. I just don't get it. It's like if you felt that strongly about it that you
It's-
turned down somebody from buying you a beer,
My
and
wife
now all of a sudden 4
But if-
years later
if we're
you're
gonna
like,
use-
eating over
if-
my head for 24 years before I finally.
If we are
changed.
going to
My
appropriate footwear, we can't call it flip-flopping. It's called crick-crocking.
crocking. Sorry. my
Yes.
mistake.
Yes, he'd be
My
crick-crocking. Back and forth. Sashaying,
Oh,
as it
man.
were. Yes.
I don't think we have enough time to dive into your Detroit Pistons fandom.
No,
honestly.
I think this is
just don't.
this is like when Disney got a hold of Star Wars and they started making like the side stories, right? Like you have Obi-Wan Kenobi and we have like the whole Han Solo
Baby
story.
Yoda,
So yeah,
Yoda.
like what?
I'll give you the Yoda one. I'll give you not the Yoda, the Han one. But outside of that, first of all, some of these are very good. And the Acolyte is on tonight. So
Oh yes,
Oh
tonight.
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not ripping. Yeah, it's been
I thought you were
over here.
ripping. Sorry.
Oh no, not ripping at all. I'm just talking about the fact that Disney's like, oh, we can tell so many more stories now because we're sitting on a bank account that can give us the ability to tell all these stories. Like, yeah, he's a mini series. Like that's like, it's yeah. I mean,
he needs his own 30 for 30 is what he needs. He really does.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing.
Rubber shoes, 30 for 30.
You can only do it for
the,
shorts.
the
and they're only
title's
1
just gonna be
minute at a
called
time.
"What Had Happened Was."
Yep. They're 1 minute at a time, and they're each minute goes over 3 years of his lifespan,
Oh
which
my
carries
God.
7 different
he
teams.
just lists
Three
off the
different
teams.
sports.
I don't think I could
Yeah.
do 3 years in a minute.
Wouldn't that be the greatest?
Rubber shoes.
Wouldn't that be the greatest if we could get, you know how you see these like video productions where somebody's like, every day since I was 10, I took a picture of myself heading off to school.
Oh, yeah.
And it just keeps clipping up. Can you imagine the amalgamation of jerseys as you watch Rubber Shoes. Love the love the Pistons and the shirts are all over the place, and just over his shoulder as she enters his life is just Mother Shoes with a grimace on her face.
There's not a lot in the younger years.
Diabolical marriage that she's locked into right now. Go ahead.
You couldn't get jerseys when I was a kid like you can now.
Which starter jacket did you have in the 90s, Rubber Shoes?
I had Charlotte Hornets.
But
that's all we've talked about this. We've talked about this.
Yeah. Stevie had a
lot of people
Chicago
have
Bulls one. My brother
it's like I always had
Bulls
a
ones
thing
were nice too.
for Carolina, so that was the obvious choice.
Holy.
All right, we should probably do
Moses.
predictions for the finals at this point.
We're doing our final predictions, and we're gonna get on the road. Yes. So let's start with the experts. I'll go last. So Adam, what do you got?
I like the Celtics in 6. Unfortunately, I'd like to see them win it on their home court, but I think they will win it in Dallas.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Celtics in 6. Does anything happen? What's your headline? You got a headline nobody's expecting. You got an injury nobody's expecting.
No, I think Tatum. I think Tatum will be the Finals MVP. I think he will use Luka as a sort of a motivating factor that everybody thinks Luka is way better than him, and I think he will rise to the occasion.
Uncle Dukes.
So yeah, I'll probably. I mean, I want to say Celtics in 5, because I'd love to see them win it at home. The problem is they don't really win at home, so
that's what makes this so difficult.
It really does. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say Celtics in 5.
All right.
They lose game. They go back to losing game 2, but they end up going in on the road and doing what they've been doing, being the road warriors that they are, and sweeping Dallas, and then they come back and they clinch it for Mikey and for Gorman and everybody that's going to be there. So that's my prediction. As for like headlines and stuff, honestly, I think it's going to be JB. I think Jaylen Brown's going to have a monster series, and I think he'll be the NBA Finals MVP. And out of nowhere, left field, Porzingis is actually like the runner-up. Tatum plays great, has an amazing series. But I think Porzingis is chomping at the bit too to get back out there. Plus, I've always been a big unicorn fan, so I'm hoping he does well. But that's mine.
Yeah, you kind of stole my. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Celtics in 5. Porzingis wins the MVP. He averages over 30 a game on the revenge with Dallas, and Kyrie is a puddle of himself. He barely averages 15 points a game. And
Porzingis is only averaging 20 points a game. You're aware of this, right? 22, 23.
He just had two weeks off, or 3 weeks off, so he's rested. He's fresh. He's going to be running circles around people.
All right.
Yep. Tatum. People are going to complain about Tatum because he doesn't have the points, but he's going to have double-digit rebounds and assists every game.
Okay.
I was going to say he's going to average a triple-double, but it's going to be like more like 20 and 20, 11, or 13 and 12. Like he's going to be ridiculous. He's going to average triple-double in the finals, but it's going to be JB who's going to be making big shots and coming down and making plays. But I love the Porzingis thing. I love it.
Yeah. The unicorn, they've been resting him. He's ready to play 48 minutes a night, and they don't know how to stop him.
I love that.
He takes over Tillman's minutes. Okay.
And then when they win the championship, I'm going to get my Porzingis and Brown jersey.
Let's go. Let's go.
So I had a
once they win one,
my God.
you can get their jersey because it's there for the rest of your life. They're always the champion. So you can always get a jersey after that, even if they get traded next year.
Oh man.
All right, Jimmy, you're up, buddy.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I was going massively negative,
I was thinking
as you guys know.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But I'm going to throw out some Nostradamus, and I'm going to be positive
Sure.
because I do want Gorman to be on the duck boat, and I think he deserves
100%.
jewelry desperately. And I know he has jewelry, but he deserves to go out with some jewelry. So we cannot avoid it. We love to do it to ourselves. I think there's at least one overtime, so I'll say it's gonna feel like an 8-game series. It's going the stretch. There's going to be an injury. It's going to be in game 2. And it's going to be Kyrie.
Wow.
And he'll power through it, but it's going to throw him off. It'll be his excuse point for the rest of the series. That same game, because he is a wreck, you're going to see, and this is going to affect him mentally and physically for the rest of the way, you're going to see Luka foul out in game 2. Kyrie not being at full steam, Luka already us getting in his head in game 2. That's going to cause them to not be at full strength, but we can't help ourselves, and we love 9-game series in Boston, so it's the Celtics in 7 at home with Gorman. They drag him onto the floor, and Dana Barros gets the MVP. He's not playing. So I'm gonna go with an outlier, Uncle Al. Uncle Al's gonna cobble together numbers throughout the series. And he's going to have a game-changing Game 7. So, and I don't know why that happens. I don't know why that happens, but there's my prediction. My ridiculous.
I had one thing with Uncle Al.
Prediction.
I was going to say one thing with Uncle Al. I was going to say that he was going to hit a game winner. He's going to hit a game winner at some point in this series.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I love how detailed we've had too much time to think about this. Everybody's got all the details. And also, you think it's going to go 7 games and Kyrie's going to be injured? I mean, if it's just Luka, I can't see it going 7 games. But
you would think with a game 2 injury.
That's why they call him Nostradamus.
Yes. You would think
point.
with a game 2 injury, we would walk away with it and we'd be game 5 with Uncle Dukes and rubber shoes. But no, we'll find a way. We'll find a way.
Right.
So,
there's at least one overtime.
Have you guys seen the footage of what Luka played in when he was 14 years old?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think it is possible to get into Luka's head. That kid has been playing in crazy crowds since he was a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think you're right, Billy, but I also think Timmy's right in regards to what Joe Mazzulla and the staff and what they're going to come up with in regards to how they're going to attack, and they're going to attack Luka. You know, when you mentioned like foul trouble, I 110% agree with you on that. I think they're going to attack him because, look, the Celtics have done it all postseason. I mean, how many times do they pick on the weakest link for every single one? Was it Tyler Hero was Miami?
Yep.
And I'm all of a sudden I'm freaking blanking. It's been a long day with Guam. But yeah, so I mean, I think they're going to
big account.
They're going to just they're going to continue to pick on like the weakest defender, and they have so many scorers. And if they're able to space the floor and attack against Luka, either he's going to foul, they're going to have to help, and if that's going to help, there's your drive and kick, right? Yep. And especially with the shooters the Celtics have, that's what makes them so. That's why they're the best team in basketball, and that's really.
Scotty, let me ask you this on the drive and kick piece: you think Hauser breaks out of his slump?
God, I hope so.
He's been rough this whole playoffs. Yeah. He's been so rough.
I hope so. He's been brutal. I'd like to see Derek White have one or two big games too. He obviously the Miami series he was unconscious, couldn't miss anything. Cleveland he wasn't as sharp, but I thought he played well against Indiana. I thought he had some really good moments, but yeah, I'm hoping Hauser steps up. I was really loving the confidence that Pritchard played in the Eastern Conference Finals because he looked shook in the first like 2 rounds. Really didn't look like himself, like he'd been playing all year. So I'm hoping he carries that over. And then, if Porzingis is back, they're going to go back to that 8-man lineup. So you're not going to see, I don't think you'll see much depending on what scores are and stuff of Cornette and Tillman and those guys, or Brissett, who I thought played really well when he came in too. O'Shea played well, but yeah, I hope so. I really hope so because I do like Hauser. He works hard, man. The guy who does. Yeah, he does. He's not a great athlete, but he's trying, man. He's out there and he's trying. Yeah, the 2024 version of Jeff Hornacek right there.
We will be we'll be back at it next week. Game 1 is Thursday. Game 2 is Sunday. We will be back at it right before Game 3 on Wednesday. For Scotty and Corey, who's apparently entertaining his mother who's in town, which is exciting. And for Adam and for Rubbish Shoes, it is the ATB show. Rubbish Shoes, more rant, less wrap up. We want the anger.
Yes.
I need him in a Lambert shirt. That's what I want to see more than anything.
Please. Yes.
Please. He's like, he's going to call Modell's after the show.
Get Modell's on the phone.
I don't care if they're closed. Wake him up. Wake him up. We'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out.